Now I'm going to invite Johanna to come up. She's going to share a little bit about what we've been doing. If you remember and you were around during the Christmas time, we had a special offering for a couple of different organizations locally in our community that we wanted to be able to be generous and give to. And Johanna has been spearheading one of the ways that we have been giving locally to some of the families in need. So anyway, hi. Hi, Eliana. Hi, Johanna. I just wanted to see if you could just share a little bit, maybe snapshots of what that money has gone to and what it's been like to, love families in need in our community.
Sure. Yeah, so I feel like I had the honor and the large responsibility of dispensing the funds, I guess, and it was really encouraging. We were able to give grocery money to 4 different families. These were women who were now alone, and each of them had really small children. In fact, 2 of them had babies in March, and were going through that largely alone because their husbands had been taken by immigration, and some of them have actually now been deported. And so being able to step into that space and give tangibly was really encouraging to me. One of the women, when I shared that we could provide grocery money, she said, "That's amazing, I really need that, but I actually have also been served an eviction notice." She had 3 small kids that are 1, 4, and 7 years old, and she was like, "I don't know what I'm gonna do if I get evicted." She had like a court date to go to eviction court, and we were actually able to help pay some of that back rent off, and she also got different help to pay rent in the future, so she did not get evicted. She did not even have to go to court to do anything, and that was a huge blessing. And then the other thing that we did is we paid for work permits for a handful of young individuals. The first work permit application for immigrants used to be free, but recent changes to policy have put people with a $560 fee to apply for a work permit. And that's a lot of money when you're technically not supposed to be working. And so paying for those work permits for these young individuals just opens the door for them to be able to find a real job, not an under-the-table job, and just establish life a little bit better here. So that was a big blessing, I think.
I love that you were able to kind of get to know these women and also connect with them on and help them dream on a longer level than just groceries for the month, right? Because I think that's obviously necessary, and they're in crisis and they need help, but also to be able to think ahead and say, how can I help equip you and use this money in a way to help you be sustained for the longer term, right? And to be able to take care of your kids and not have to worry about these things month by month about how to pay for groceries, but to be able to stay in a space where you don't have to worry about getting evicted or get a job and know. I know you did a lot of work in helping not just use the money to help with the women that was getting evicted, but also connect her up with different resources that were going to be able to help her long term. So thank you for doing that, because I know it's not just about dispensing money, but it was really a lot of groundwork of doing paperwork and helping people get connected. In the midst of this for you, has there been anything that has been surprising or encouraging as you've been doing this?
Sure. I think it's encouraging to me. I feel like sometimes it's easy for me to see that I'm blessing somebody else, but it's really surprising and encouraging to have them bless back. So thank you for all this money for groceries or for the work permit. Now would you like to come and share a meal with me? It's not just thank you and now I'm gonna do my own thing. It's very relational, and that's surprising and encouraging to me. And also just their willingness to be this is a gift from God, and thank you. So for me, just the blessing of being the hands and feet of Jesus in giving this money and hearing people relate it back to being blessed by God it's really encouraging.
That's awesome. Can you guys give Johanna and God a hand, right? Like, just thank you. I think it is so helpful to be able to hear, like, we are invited and encouraged to give and be generous in these different opportunities as we've seen need. I've talked numerous times about how God invites us to participate in hope instead of just kind of see what the world and the brokenness is around us and just feel like we are helpless and powerless to do anything. And God actually invites us to do something and invites us to be a part of something bigger that can actually bring life and hope and community around us. And this was one of the ways, and it's always so encouraging to hear, like, oh, how did that go? Like, where did the money go? And what was that like? And so thank you so much for giving generously, those of you who had had a chance to do that in December. And even as we're leaning into what that looks like long-term for us as a church and what it means for us to continue to be on mission,